Hello everyone, welcome to another top 3 video. Today we're going to talk about the best 3 Warlord traits from the new Drukhari Codex. If you haven't already guys, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell just in the corner so you know each time we release one of these videos. So let's jump into it. The new Drukhari book's actually really cool, and there are a lot of good Warlord traits in there. But what you've got to remember as well is you've got Homunculus Covens, Witch Cults, and also Cabals, and there are good Warlord traits among each of them. So what I've done in this top 3 video is I've picked the best Warlord trait from all 3 and then ranked them in order of worst to best. So in number 3, unfortunately, it's the Homunculus Covens because their Warlord traits aren't as good as the others. And it's Master Regenesis. That's the one I would choose because each time this model uses its Fleshcraft ability, the target regains 3 lost wounds rather than D3. This is really powerful because you have units like Kronos and Talos, which are toughness 7 around the Homunculus, who is going to have this Warlord trait. They're toughness 7 and they have 7 wounds a model. On top of that, they have a 6-up invulnerable save, and they have a 5-up feel no pain, meaning every wound they lose, you roll a d6 for, and on a 5+, the lost wound is ignored. They keep that wound. So it's very hard to take wounds off them in the first place, but then they also have 7 wounds. So you're very unlikely to kill more than one of them in any phase or any turn, but you can damage them a lot, like leave one on 2 wounds or 1 wound, and then to have this guy just, give half the wounds back to a 110 point monster like that is really good. So that Warlord trait comes in at number 3 for me. And then we've got number 2. So in at number 2, I've got Hatred Eternal, which is a Cabal Warlord trait. Now, with this one, each time the Warlord makes an attack, you re-roll hit rolls and you re-roll wound rolls. Now, this is insane. It's the one Drazar comes with. This is what makes Drazar so good. But on a regular Archon, we're talking about, just putting these Warlord traits on the regular character from, that Cabal or cult. So if you were to put this on an Archon, you kind of have to combo it with things to make it worthwhile. So what you do is you give him a Husk Blade, and then you replace the Husk Blade with the Jinn Blade relic. Now the Jinn Blade gives him +1 strength, also -3 AP and flat 3 damage. Flat 3 damage in the game right now is perfect because it's like a Marine killer, a Terminator killer from, any faction of Terminators. It's brilliant. It kills things like Destroyers from Necrons. All the core units that people are getting that are really tough right now, it goes straight through them. And to put it on a cheap character like an Archon and have him reliably go through stuff with full rerolls to hit and wound is incredible. What it also does is the Jinn Blade gives you an extra 2 attacks as well. So, he's got like 6 or 7 attacks every time he fights, and he's got full rolls to hit and wound. He's going to do a lot of damage. If after that you then make him a Master Archon, for 15 points you can take Splinter Genius. And that's the brilliant thing about it, is it doesn't take up a Warlord trait or a relic slot. You just pay 15 points for the upgrade. And once per battle, if he's within engagement range of an enemy unit after he's fought, he can fight again, which, just increases everything that he's just done twice. He's got 7 attacks, then he's got another 7 attacks for once per game, and they're all -3 flat 3. He's going to kill a lot of stuff. Then in at number 1, and I've got Witch Cults here. Witch Cults reigning supreme, which is nice to see, We've seen Cabals and Homunculus Covens on the top for a long time, and I really think that this combo can make this Warlord trait the best one out of all of them. And that's Whirling Death. It is specific because it's Witch Cult, but it can only be taken on a Master Succubus. When you take a Master Succubus, this is the Warlord trait that you can opt to give her instead of another one. So you got to remember, if you take a Real Space Raid detachment as well, you can have 1 Master Archon, 1 Master Homunculus, and 1 Master Succubus all in the same detachment. So it's really nice to take this, in my opinion. And what it does is each time this Warlord fights, after pile-ins, you can choose for its attacks characteristic to be equal to 3 plus the number of models within 2 inches of it. So the best thing about this is normally you have 6 attacks on a Succubus. So if you do this, if there are 3 models within 2 inches of you, you've got 6 attacks anyway. So you're never going to lose attacks. And remember, you can opt to do this. You don't have to choose for your attacks to be that. You can just choose for your attacks to stay as 6. But if you're fighting a horde, say, you run into, I don't know, a squad of boys or gaunts, where you can, after pylons, you can make sure there's a good 8 or 9 models within 2 inches of you. Not wholly within either, just within 2 inches of you. So say there are 8 or 9 models there, you then have 3 plus 9, so you've got 12 attacks on this succubus. And the brilliant thing about it is you then combo it with the triptych whip. So it replaces your agonizer. It's poison 2+. So you're always winning on 2s unless it's against vehicles. Minus 3 AP and flat 2 damage, which is incredible in the game right now. But it also adds 3 to your attacks characteristic as well. So imagine you hit this horde of orcs or termagants now. There's 9 models within 2 of you. You've got 12 attacks plus 3 from this. So you've got 15 attacks that are wounding on 2s and just killing whatever wounds you got. Minus 3, 2 damage. On a succubus that's only 65 points... That's insane. So that's what I would do personally. And then you've got to remember, if you've taken a Master Succubus, you then get the Master Succubus special rule, which is not a Warlord trait or relic, which is just after fighting, you can consolidate 6 inches and you do not have to go towards the nearest enemy unit. So you can run into a horde like this, butcher a load of models, and then run out of combat before they get to hit you back, and they have to spend their turn dealing with you. So that's why that comes in at number 1 for me. So those are the best 3 Warlord traits from the new Drukhari Codex, in my opinion. If you have any that you think are really good or that you've already been trying out, please leave them in the comments below for everybody to share. And until the next video, see you later, guys.